Limitless Wrestling fans, it's another edition of the Limitless Wrestling Podcast. Jon Alba here with you, coming to your ears, joined by the czar of Limitless Wrestling, Mr. Randy Carver himself. Randy, what's cooking? Good looking?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I am, on the LTG podcast, instead of swear words, we take the Kevin Nash adjective when he meant to say nouns and said adjective instead. So we replace our curse words with adjective. So I am adjective very tired. But I'm good. I'm good. Life's good. We're okay. We're surviving. And I understand you're not alone this week.
No, I am sitting beside one half of the main state posse, DangerKid, right now.
DK, what is going on with you? It's been a half a second.
It has. I don't know, it's coming down to the point where my podcast appearances are just beyond sporadic. Really can't be planned out. It's just, it is what it is, and you're all just going to have to accept that.
What have you been cooking lately?
Oh, buddy, do you really want to know?
I do, because I told you I want to take you on. I want to do the Beat DK challenge, and we'll get in the kitchen and see who gets chopped.
Well, we'll get to that, but, I don't know if you're ready for all of this. We haven't put up a video in a while. We might have to soon. You might have to wait for that.
Ugh. Peanut butter, cinnamon, hot dog. Ugh.
It was delicious.
Randy,
it was very dry.
Randy might disagree with that.
Very dry.
Randy, what was the most appalling of his creations that you saw?
Well, I don't even know if it's on him, but in the kitchen, Ripper was eating fucking thumbtack meatballs.
That was disgusting.
Just a little disturbing on many levels.
Probably not good for your teeth.
No.
I'm just going to come out and say it.
Not good for your mouth in general.
Probably your insides either.
Yeah. I don't know. I was taken aback by I didn't see it in person, but the old, what was it, blueberry?
Yeah, the blueberry buffalo mac and cheese. Yeah.
Yeah.
I already have an upset stomach just saying that.
That's not even on me. That's like a main staple. That's like a main
No,
dish,
it looked like somebody somebody threw up a melted Crayola crayon.
That's like Smurf puke, right?
Okay, I had to use cheap cheese that night, but we're not gonna be judging the fact that I had to buy cheap cheese.
Yeah, I don't want to rag on Hannaford's on this podcast.
You gotta do what you gotta do, Sorry my ingredients aren't top shelf.
Smurf puke. Oh, God, if we might have to get a Smurf puke shirt going. That's good. Anyway, we are back with you here on the Limitless Wrestling Podcast, which you should totally be subscribed to wherever you listen to your podcasts. And we've had a lot of busy action going on with the road, Randy Carver. What did we see this week that stuck out to you?
Well, I was talking to a couple people today. I think there's a couple must-see matches from this episode for real. The main event, Anthony Green, Ava Everett. Go out of your way to check that one out. They've wrestled a couple times before in the world of Limitless Wrestling. I think the first time was a year and a half ago on one of the first Limitless Dojo tapings. And then fast forward to Let's Wrestle this past January on Ava Everett's birthday. She gets a shot at the Limitless Championship. This time non-title, but I think definitely the best of their three collisions. I think definitely one of the best matches I've ever seen Ava Everett have in her young career. And definitely just really, I think one that's going to put her on the map for everything moving forward in Limitless Wrestling. And then Ace Romero, Rip Bison, which already for free on youtube.com/Limitless Wrestling if you want to go check that one out. This is one, I was talking to Ace Romero yesterday about it, and I compared it to his match with AR Fox because at that time, Ace Romero didn't have a ton of high-profile matches that were going to get him on the map and going to get him booked in other places that he could send around. But that was the match for him, and I think this could be the same for Rip Bison, who has really come into his own over the past year, is continuously getting better, trying new shit, and I think this is the best match I've ever seen him have, bar none. So go out of your way to check out those two. Alexander Lee and Frank Yeager on this episode as well. The Dirty Drifters versus Eric Johnson, a really fun episode, but just blown away by those two matches.
I want to just add that you forgot the most important detail of the Ava Everett birthday encounter. which was Eric Greenleaf taking a cake to the face.
Oh, that's great. It's great content. There's some great pictures of that as well. That WrestleBrook got that are on her Flickr, I think. I'll fucking post one because it's just Eric Greenleaf full of cake and Ava Everett pissed at him for it. So
he's really just the worst, isn't he, DK?
Yeah. There's a reason why we all bag on him so much.
Oh, we bag on him? Is that what this is?
Yeah.
You see, by saying you bag on him, that insinuates that it's like done in like a lovingly manner, but
we're kind of stuck with him.
That's true. I did move to Orlando. I don't have to deal with that.
I have a proposition for the Eric Greenleaf episode of the podcast.
The Eric Greenleaf episode of the podcast that we've been talking about for 2 years that hasn't happened yet.
It's been looming for 3 years, so the anticipation has to be high with everyone who's listening to this podcast. But I think if Eric Greenleaf agrees to answer any question that we have, or maybe a caller, maybe we set up some people to call in some questions. I've got some questions for Eric Greenleaf.
Are you saying, Randy, that you want to do a hashtag Ask Greenleaf?
I'm not saying now, and I'm not saying when, but I think if we find ourselves in a bit of a podcasting bind, maybe a podcast pothole, so to speak, that we're able to navigate through with an Ask Greenleaf episode. So just, I don't know, keep it in the back pocket. Put it in a locket, you know what I mean?
When a lot of sitcoms and TV shows run out of content, they do best of episodes and clip shows. So is this our equivalent to that?
I think so. Maybe we just do a referee round table sometime.
Ugh.
But definitely, yeah, we gotta do something with Greenleaf sometime.
I'm not about this. I'm really not about this at all. But hey, if he wants to step into the danger zone, I'm ready to handle that. Needless to say, but I digress. We got a lot of fun ideas coming up for the Limitless Wrestling Podcast that we bring to you every week here via Limitless Wrestling. As Randy said, the road also available every single week. What do we got coming up this week?
Well, not a ton announced yet, but your boy, the Belfast Bulldog, Dave Dyer, going to make his first appearance on the road.
Sorry,
one-on-one.
I'm coughing up some
with
grapes.
The dirty. Are you all right over there?
Sorry, go on.
Hairball?
Well,
yeah, your boy going one-on-one with the Dirty Birdie, Doug Weiser.
God, I hate both those guys.
Little dojo showcase on the episode. Who are you pulling for? Who's your money on?
The ring mat?
Well, it's certainly going to get some action, I'm sure.
I don't know, man. That's not into that. DK, what do you think about the progression of both of these individuals? You've had a hand in training both of them.
Honestly, I've watched them both grow immensely, especially since I've been back in the Bangor area and have been in the dojo as often as I have, because it really wasn't much before, just being so far away. But since I've been back, it's been great watching these two, just grow as wrestlers and seeing their confidence grow and seeing them try new things. And it's just been great. I have high hopes for both of them, and I'm really interested to see this match coming up on the next episode of The Road.
Certainly so. We're also going to see the Higher Society, I hear, Randy.
Yeah, Armani Chaos, Paris Mandale, and tag team action. This is their first actual tag team match coming up this week. They were in a trios match on episode 2, losing to Basic, Becca, CJ Cruz, and Ricky Archer. And Ace Romero, also after another big victory over Rip Bison, he's making his return once again.
DK, what did you think of Armani Chaos when you had a chance to lock up with him?
He's very smug. You can obviously see that and how he carries himself. But, you saw the end of my match with him. I did win, but he pushed me. He hit me with a lot of stuff that I wasn't expecting. And he definitely earned my respects. I had a moment with him in the ring. I had a promo after with a fact, and that was legitimate. I've known him for a while. He came up at Nepwa. I've known him for about 2 years, and I met him when he was just a shy kid. He was Barely a trainee at that point. And, I could see something in him back then. And, obviously over time, his attitude has shifted a little bit. It's changed, my opinion, for the worse. But the skill set is there, and he has the tools to go very far in this business if he chooses to.
Some high praise right there for Armani. We'll see them in action, as Randy said. Ace Romero as well. What are the details on this episode of The Road, Randy? When can people find it, and where can they see it?
Well, it's coming up Wednesday night, 7 p.m., independentwrestling.tv. If you're not a subscriber, you can use the promo code Limitless. Gets you 5 free days, and you can watch all 5 episodes in full. There's a lot of extras on these episodes that don't actually get uploaded to YouTube. So if you want the full experience, they're only about 40 to 50 minutes a piece, all available on IWTV. You can also see all the Pandemic at the Dojo episodes in full. I think like 25 plus Limitless live events are available on there as well. So that's the place to check them all out. Unless you want to buy the DVDs, it's only $9.99 a month. And we're going to have The Road on there every Wednesday moving forward.
And you mentioned all of those events that you can find there on IWTV. Well, all of those events have made up the past 5 years of Limitless Wrestling. And as we announced on the last episode, we are going to be giving you a 5-year anniversary live podcast show extravaganza, Viking Raiders experience, whatever, coming to you guys this year to celebrate 5 years of Limitless Wrestling. Again, there's not going to be a Limitless Wrestling show to celebrate 5 years, so we want to give you something to supplement that. And Randy, we really want to get everyone involved firsthand this year, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's a bummer that we can't have a live show for obvious reasons, but we wanted to try to still include the fans somehow and do something fun. And we've never actually done a live video podcast show. Like it's never been something that's really even been talked about at length before until a couple weeks ago. And we've kind of put some plans into motion to have a lot of special guests on the show and probably stream it live to our social media accounts, YouTube and Facebook particularly. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So we've got this poll together. We spoke about it last week. It's a huge list, a mega list that we're about to go over of some of the biggest moments in Limitless Wrestling history in the 5 years of Limitless Wrestling. And this is a lot of moving parts have weighed in on this and given some opinions about what should be included. Again, we put it out there last week. If you do feel like we missed something, let us know. But at this point, we've got a poll that's going to drop tomorrow as we record this. So it's going to be Friday, the 28th of August. Going to be active for 2 weeks. And we've got this mega list of moments we're about to go over. You're able to choose 5 each and have them submitted. And John, tell them about what we're going to do on this live show.
Well, we are going to be counting down the top 10 moments in Limitless Wrestling history. And I can't wait to get into that. We're going to have that panel that Randy was talking about, and it's going to be compiled entirely by you guys and how you guys vote. So with this vote, you will be able to select up to 5 moments, and based on how they rank out at the end of the voting period, that's how we will rank them. So this is entirely in your hands. DangerKid, can you believe that we're on the 5-year mark here? And did anything immediately come to your mind when Randy told you about this idea?
Honestly, it's kind of amazing. Like, it really doesn't feel like it's been 5 years. 5 years is a long time, but here we are. We've done so much, and taking a step back and being on pause right now during the lockdown and everything, it's just like, wow, yeah, we really have done a lot. It really has been 5 years, put on a lot of show, a lot of matches, tons of moments, plenty to pick from. I'm not sure how you guys compiled this list because I would have had a super hard time finding all the choices and everything. But wow, man, it's kind of surreal. Any moments that pop out to me? Honestly, the ones that popped out to me, you guys already selected.
Okay, so. Well, let's talk about them then. Again, you will be able to select up to 5 here. One that we added at the last minute, and this is one that is certainly relevant to you, Mr. DangerKid, is the moment that the fans hijacked our segment and christened Joey Eastman as the Shit Weasel, a name that he cannot shake from his stench to this day. Any memories about that?
I remember the fans kind of doing their thing. There's some stuff that just you really can't predict in the world of wrestling, especially the world of Limitless. And the whole tone of the room just completely shifted in a way that I greatly enjoyed, because Joe Eastman absolutely fucking hated it. It was great. And yeah, it created some like a lasting moment in time. And that's huge. And that was all the fans.
And
it's nothing that we did.
And Randy, the cool behind the scenes story of that is that segment pretty much came together that day.
Yeah, we put a lot of pieces together for that very last minute. I think there was a lot of moving parts with that as we went into it. I think that we were unsure if someone was going to make it until like a few days before. But I think it came together really well. It really laid the foundation heading into the Vacation Land Cup for that triple threat contest, and kind of set the course for everything Joey Eastman would do throughout that summer, and then him returning to Limitless Wrestling about a year later.
I remember I wasn't even supposed to be on that show, and it was literally the night before. I was like, what if we did this? And you're like, yeah, that's awesome, because Limitless doesn't really do too many in-ring segments like that per se. So it was an awesome moment. It was an awesome moment that the crowd totally just took control of, and that's the voice of the Limitless fans right there at their finest. A match and a moment that I think had to be on this list: Chris Hero versus Zack Sabre Jr. from January 2016, pretty much putting Limitless Wrestling on the map.
Yeah, absolutely. It put us on the map more than just a small local like main independent wrestling company. I think it just showed that we were trying to be very serious about this from the start. Like, there was no playing around. We wanted to really bring good wrestling up here, and had a lot of unique opportunities early on. We were able to work with promotions like Beyond Wrestling very early, and in our infancy that helped us grow tremendously very early on, because I mean it's tough to do even right now. Like, looking at the landscape of wrestling, we're still trying to grow Limitless, and we're still trying to get it out to more people, and it's an uphill battle all the time to get more people to pay attention and give us the time of day, because I think when people do, they're impressed by everything, or they enjoy it to some extent. And this is really the start. I think, like, I call it our first big step forward, because this got a lot of people in the New England area at least cognizant of what we were doing, if not interested. And it helps to just have them know your name and know that you're around, because eventually I think when they see the type of wrestling that you're putting forward, people will want to be into that and watch it. And Chris Hero and Zack Sabre Jr., to their credit, also did not look at us as just like a small main indie, and had an exceptional match, like a 25-minute, still to this day, one of the best main events we've ever had match. And that means a lot to me.
Chris Statlander returning surprise matter after signing with AEW to go to battle with Daniel Garcia from earlier this year. One of the few Limitless moments from this year.
Yeah, we didn't get the chance to have too many, but this was a really fun one, because I think that it was the common assumption around Limitless Wrestling that after the last Creature Standing match with Ashley Vox, that Chris Statlander was done. And I think to have her just not even 2 months later, she's already back unannounced, and having a really fun match with Daniel Garcia really set the people on fire in Yarmouth. And that's a fun one to look back on in a year that we didn't really get to do too much.
We also have the announcement of the Limitless Wrestling World Championship from January of 2019. DK, you were in the building that night. What was it like when Randy came out and laid down that big announcement?
Obviously huge. You look at that, that's a very pivotal moment in Limitless Wrestling history. I mean, what more can really be said about it? It's absolutely huge, and it's a huge part of everything that we had done up until that point.
AR Fox ending Ace Romero's undefeated streak after one full year. That was in September of 2016. And obviously we know the insane series of matches those two would go on to have. Just one of those real special feuds that Limitless has had, isn't it, Randy?
Yeah, definitely. And this was another real fun one. This is their first one that had some looser rules. This was anything goes at past your bedtime, and a big win for AR Fox. Ace Romero had really run through everyone in Limitless Wrestling, but the person who took him to his limit the most was AR Fox. So it only made sense to have that rematch, especially at the 1-year anniversary show. And they've both gone back and forth so many other promotions since then. And I think, honestly, still, when wrestling gets somewhat back to normal, it's going to be something that continues.
Well, Randy, I'm going to add another one because we left this one off. And as I'm reading this, I'm like, we can't not put this on here as a nominee. Speaking of AR Fox and Ace Romero, we have to go to their Fans Bring the Weapons match, which is maybe the most insane match in Limitless Wrestling history.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot that, honestly. Like, that's a glaring one now that you say it. What a night that was. Jesus. I learned a lot that night, like as a promoter and someone putting together shows and ensuring the safety of fans. Like, it was a very eye-opening experience to kind of just roll through that and roll with the punches of everything and understand how to better conduct things on the way out. But like, as you said, this is one of the wildest matches I think we've ever had. I think it's definitely the craziest. And I don't know. I've only watched it back a couple times since. Crazy shit. I think that's a glaring moment for sure.
We got Donovan Dijak defeating Josh Briggs to close out his Limitless tenure back in the summer of 2017.
Dijak was really important in the infancy of Limitless Wrestling. Like, he added legitimacy when we really didn't have it yet, and we were still trying to earn that with people. And he consistently had match of the night contenders every single time, no matter the turnout. He's another guy who just absolutely came in every single time and busted his ass, and just really wanted the best for everyone and everything around him. So that match is really special, and I think a very good way for Dijak to close out his tenure with Limitless.
Last Creature Standing, Chris Statlander and Ashley Vox headlining Limitless's first live streamed event in November of 2019. DK as cohort to both of these individuals. What was that night like?
It was something special. The build to this match, their whole story, their whole feud, their whole saga, however you want to put it. I think it's one of the best in Limitless history. Honestly, like I don't think you can look at it and say otherwise. This night was incredibly special. I'm so happy they got a main event. They absolutely killed each other. They killed it in general. Honestly, one of the best matches I've ever seen in person.
I would certainly agree with that. Oh boy, Randy, you talk about things you learn as a promoter. You might have learned not to use a steel cage. That's a Limitless Wrestling fans had to hold up the cage. The Vacation Land Cup in 2018 between Ace Romero and Anthony Green. One of the most special moments in Limitless history, no doubt. Went viral. Just insane.
Yeah, insane's the right word. I certainly throughout that entire year learned a lot, and that was a potentially horrific outcome turning into something that I really think tied everyone in Limitless Wrestling together and very tight. You know what I mean? I really feel like that show, that moment in particular, kind of built our fan base into something that was more of a family than just something that is a fan base, if that makes any sense.
No doubt about that. We got AG winning the second Vacation Land Cup after that run he went on back in last summer.
Yeah, this one had fucking people crying. I was legitimately saw a few people crying, and I felt emotional about it myself, and pro wrestling can do that sometimes, man. It came down to him and Ace Romero, and I just think that Anthony Green has always been the perennial underdog in Limitless Wrestling, a guy who wasn't supposed to be here from the start, worked his way into main event positions, and not only that, but thrived there. And this was the start. This was his final step until getting his Limitless Championship match.
DangerKid, one of the most emotional moments in Limitless Wrestling history, no doubt. Alexander Lee turning his back on you and Aiden Agro at the behoost of Joey Eastman.
Yes, that's. I mean, just it really puts a feather in the cap of the whole Main State Posse story. You know, you take a step back and you look at everything from A to Z, and it just really all makes sense. Yeah, that definitely, I can see why that would be a moment that a lot of people would hold high for one reason or another.
Yeah, one reason or another.
Obviously bittersweet, but yeah, huge impact, long-lasting impact for sure.
Randy, a moment that was a long time coming for you. Limitless Wrestling making its debut at the Portland Expo at last year's anniversary show.
Yeah, that was something special, and there was so much work put in by so many people to make that happen, and just turned out to be, you know, I think one of the best nights in Limitless Wrestling history. And, you know, I truly hope that we get to make that happen again sometime in the near future. I don't know when that'll ever be, but I'm looking forward to the day that we can do that again.
JT Dunn winning the first ever Vacation Land Cup. It was kind of him just, again, asserting his dominance in Limitless, but I think he had a lot to prove in that tournament.
I think so, too. I think a lot of people were looking elsewhere for a winner of that tournament. I think he was a lot of people even projected him going out of the first round. But I think that really solidified him as a top-tier player in Limitless Wrestling at that point. And I think he needed something like that to kind of solidify himself in the main event picture. I mean, he had gone from the big matches with like a Cody Rhodes and a Sami Callihan. The list goes on. Jonathan Gresham, super crazy, to now having people doubt him. And I think that was his solidifier.
We continue here. An emotional moment. Kevin Blackwood and Daniel Garcia, the Buffalo Boys, returning after their near-death experience.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a night, man. From start to finish, I honestly, I remember very vividly finding out about the car accident. Like, I know where I was. I know what was going on. Because I just didn't, it was one of those things where you don't get a ton of information, but you know it's not good. And I legitimately didn't know if either of them were going to wrestle again. Not even wrestle, but have normal lives. You know what I mean? Realistically, did not know if they were going to be okay. And Daniel Garcia is a fucking warrior. He was rehabbing 3 or 4 days later after fucking breaking his leg. Kevin Blackwood, had a very fucking bad concussion on top of other injuries as well. And that's scary shit when you're in the world of professional wrestling and any combat impact sport. And that was his first match back. He wrestled Christian Casanova, who, he was in a program with at the time. And I think that was a very emotional moment. I remember his girlfriend flew in from California for it. His family was there. Really cool that we were able to host something like that too, because I really consider that Buffalo crew to be family, and it means a lot to me that we were able to have that moment at Limitless Wrestling.
DK, when that happened, did that kind of make things set in as very real for you as a fellow performer, that something like that could make things change just on a whim?
Yeah, absolutely. It just goes to show, how precious life is, how anything can happen in any moment. And, it might not even be something in a wrestling ring that takes you out of wrestling. It can be other things that can stop this crazy dream, this crazy ride that we're on. And I'm just so happy both those boys are alive. I'm happy all those guys are alive, let alone wrestling.
Absolutely.
And living normal lives. It's just it's very emotional, and it transcends wrestling entirely.
We got Chris Statlander.
Can we pause for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Not pause, but I want to give just a shout for Mark Godfrey and Ma, who were two fixtures in the main wrestling community. Lost them both this week, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was gonna bring them up, and man, just brutal.
Mark was very close with one of Eric Johnson's best friends, and very close in IWE. I think he was definitely around when you were around.
Oh,
still,
he's just
John.
such a great guy.
Great dude. And just, he actually wrestled. He used to wrestle in my backyard. I've known him fucking forever. And just a bummer, dude, because he was the nicest dude you could ask for. And then Ma, who was Becky Williams' mother, went to every fucking event around the state of Maine if she was able. And just really, she's the woman who you'll see if you go to the Limitless Wrestling Instagram right now, flipping off the camera and getting into it with Ethan Page. That's from Hogwash, November of 2016.
I have a great story about both of them. So my first match that I ever had was in IWE, and after I lost, I had nuclear heat. Nuclear. So much so that the person heckling me the most was Ma, flipping the fingers, every swear word you could imagine, and to the point where Mark Godfrey had to get in her face and tell her calm down a little bit. So I owe Mark Godfrey my life because Ma was going to kick my ass that night.
Yeah, she'd swing at you if she could.
DK, any memories that you'd like to share?
Her throwing that cane around.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. No, I love both of those human beings so much. It really is a bummer, only a couple days apart. Maine wrestling has taken a lot of hits lately. And it sucks, honestly, but I'll always remember both of them as just incredibly nice people, and so passionate about wrestling in their own ways. Ma was always there, front row. I never saw her sit in second row, third row, or anywhere else. Always front row, would always come up to you and give you hugs at the merch table. Mark Godfrey, he was rolling out, and I was coming up in the business. My second show was his last, I believe, if I recall correctly. And, he was just always nice to us young kids. He never was like, oh, I'm a vet, just never any bullshit like that. He was always a straight shooter and just a good, kind-hearted human being.
Hey.
And he loved wrestling.
I totally agree with you on all those fronts. I got some breaking news here on the Limitless Wrestling Podcast as we tape this on Thursday night. The Armstrong family just announced the passing of Hall of Famer Bullet Bob Armstrong.
No shit.
Yeah, wow. One of the absolute legends of pro wrestling.
Wow.
Man, just getting hit hard here. Not great,
Sucks.
But man, I echo all your sentiments, guys. Two big losses, and their memories will certainly live on and carry on here. And Randy, you also did a great thing for Mark with Let's Wrestle with the fundraiser.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and we were able to raise a little over $1,000 when all said and done. Eric Johnson came to me with the idea for that event, and I was stoked that we had the American Legion on board. We had all the wrestlers on board to do another show. We weren't planning on a December event, but it made all the sense in the world once the idea was laid out, and I was happy that we could at least alleviate some of the financial pain that he was in at that point.
All right, let's continue this list. We got a couple more here. Let's speed through them because we got a watch along to get into here. We've got Chris Statlander and Ashley Vox shaving Jeremy Leary bald, which is something we just talked about last week. And it's one of those moments that just kind of, the bad guy had what he had coming to him, didn't he?
Yeah, I would say so. Have not heard of a new moniker yet. I assume the best Terran wrestling has been put on the shelf, but remains to be seen.
We got Cody Rhodes debuting at Unreal versus JT Dunn. DK, did you feel, well, we've documented this well on the podcast, but as a wrestler, did you feel like this added a lot of legitimacy to Limitless?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's another one of those things that is pretty on par with, the early Zack Sabre Jr., Chris Hero match. I think it's just one of those things that really brought a lot of legitimacy to the company. Got a lot more eyes on us. For me, and the point where I was at, I felt it, that night. I felt it during that match. I was just like, this is kind of crazy. This is happening right now. And they put on an awesome match. So absolutely huge moment in Limitless Wrestling history.
And then a bunch of MJF and JT Dunn and Anthony Green and Ace Romero moments here, so let's get through them. We have MJF returning to Limitless through the garage at the Westbrook Armory and joining forces with JT Dunn. That was crazy. Basically an invasion angle on Limitless.
Yeah, it was a mind melter for people because I legitimately think that no one thought MJF would appear in a Limitless ring ever again.
Yeah, absolutely awesome moment. And following that up, just a couple months later, Take Me Home Tonight, Ace Romero and Anthony Green reuniting to fight off MJF and JT Dunn.
Yeah, Anthony Green coming out a little swerve in his step, fucking giving the hug ski to JT and MJF, and then a super kick to the mush. Rejoining forces with Ace Romero, guys who had been rivals in the past, partners in the past, now getting back on the same page to fend off a common enemy. I think people were very excited about that.
MJF becoming the inaugural Limitless Wrestling Champion in a 4-way.
Absolutely insane. That match is up for free in full on youtube.com/Limitless Wrestling. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. But the final moments of that match and MJF taking home the title were just insanity. You can watch the building react to everything, and you could feel it. You know what I mean? From any corner of that venue.
And to wrap things up here, Anthony Green defeating MJF to become the Limitless Wrestling World Champion 1 year ago.
That's crazy. It was a year ago. It's literally, I think we're a week away from it being a year. That's another one of those moments I feel like you could feel. You could feel it throughout everybody who was sharing that moment in the expo. I think everybody that night, just about everybody, was pulling for Anthony Green.
So all those moments will be up via poll, dropping Friday, as you listen to this in all likelihood. And make sure you vote. The earlier you vote, the better, because it's going to give us a better read on things. You can choose up to 5, and we will have our big show extravaganza counting down the top 10 moments in Limitless Wrestling history. Okay, it is time for a watch-along. I'm excited for this one, Randy. We went to a poll. We said that we would do a Scramble watch-along for this week's episode. And I'm glad that we did, because I think these are super cool options that we ended up coming up with here for the Limitless Wrestling podcast. You put things to a poll, Randy. How'd you come up with these options?
Well, this is another one I threw to a few different people. Got some reads on 4 that they would choose. I think we spoke about it a little as well. And this is the one that ended up taking it home. We had a tight race, though, because I think it only had like 7 or 8 hours remaining, and No Control was neck and neck with this one. That was the wild one that was the stapling back and forth between Brandon Kirk and Brandon Kirk and Bear Bronson. Troy Nelson's return in that one as well. But I guess a lot of people wanted to see your last appearance in Limitless Wrestling, John.
Yes, the Vacation Land Cup 2018 Scramble won this, and we'll be able to provide some perspective here, so that is kind of fun. DK, have you ever seen this match? Because during the shows, it's hard to watch the matches if you're getting ready for your own.
I definitely have not watched every match that Limitless has ever put on. It's super hard performing on the shows myself. So this one, though, I want to say that I have, but honestly, I cannot say for sure. Once we get rolling within like a minute or two, okay. I definitely know. I know I've seen clips.
Well, this Scramble went down on July 27th, 2018 at the Vacation Land Cup, the first Vacation Land Cup. Randy, when this match finished up, you said to me that you thought this was maybe the best Scramble in Limitless history to that point, and we will put that to the test here as we watch this match. So go find it on the Limitless Wrestling YouTube right now if you haven't already. Harlow O'Hara versus Eli Everfly versus Kevin Blackwood versus Austin Theory versus Jay Freddy versus Nico Silva. Stipulation being, if Nico Silva, my guy, did not win, I would be vanquished from Limitless Wrestling. Per Randy Carver, we are at 0-0-0. Again, any technical difficulties, we will tell you where we're picking back up, or any commercials get in the way, whatever it may be. Gentlemen, are you ready here?
We're good to go.
Let's do it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. And instantly we are getting our ring introductions. So, Randy, let's lay out the scenario here. Why were you giving me 3 strikes and you're out with the Alba Star search?
Well, you talk a big game, John. You always have. And I think not only myself, I think a lot of people were getting a bit annoyed by it. So, this was your last chance. Put your money where your mouth is, and let's see a successful Jon Alba Star search. And if not, 3 strikes and you're out. I think that's perfectly fair. I mean, look at Stokely Hathaway here. Stokely Hathaway leading the Dream Team, leading Christian Casanova to numerous victories, successes in Limitless Wrestling galore. And I don't know, John. I just want to see, back against the wall. What could you do?
Well, right here, I'm stealing the microphone from Rich Palladino because I didn't think that he would accurately and eloquently tee up Nico Silva, who was making his Limitless Wrestling debut here.
What do you think of Nico Silva? What do you think heading into this match, and what do you think afterwards?
Well, I did a lot of research on him. You told me you were bringing this guy in for this show. I decided that he was reputable enough to represent. He's a tremendous high flyer. He's strong. DK, what do you think of Nico?
I've actually wrestled Nico before, and he's a tough dude. Like, he's sizable, he's muscular, and he hits pretty fucking hard. So, yeah.
Good pick, right?
He is decent pick, honestly. Yeah. Not bad.
Now, and then you get this idiot on the outside, Puff, with his Pabst Blue Ribbon and Jay Freddy. Jay Freddy is the bane of my existence because of this match.
Why? I mean, Jay's a nice guy. Well, one half of the thick boys.
Because this match, he thought he was The Undertaker. And you're going to see it later.
I think he was, I don't want to look ahead too far, but I know that he nailed some choke slams here.
Well, he's acting like his thick boy brother, Jon Silva, who, by the way, I need to say, is the standout on Being the Elite and is my favorite wrestler in the world right now.
You've been telling me that week upon week. He's the star of that show, and I'm so stoked for Silver, dude. Like he's so good, and now that like he's coming into his own on something that's working on like national television, that's great for him, man. Like I'm very stoked.
Kevin Blackwood being introduced here. There is a lot of talent in this ring.
Yeah, Eli Everfly, I think, thrives in a matchup like this. It's do or die with him all the time. But just a wild collection of people in these scrambles all the time. And this one, I honestly felt like, after it happened that night, it felt like magic. Like, I don't mean to sound so cliche, but sometimes these scrambles just come together perfectly. Like some people aren't a fan of scrambles. I love them. I think when they hit hard, and this is one of those matches that, as the kids say, fucks Jon Alba.
I think Stokely Hathaway just tried to take my Emmy from Rich Palladino.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I never even noticed that.
Why? It's an Emmy, bro. I mean, I'd grab that if I could.
Yeah, why not? Sell it on eBay or something. You could probably get some coin for that.
Okay. I was just going to say, DK, to your credit, before you opened your mouth there, that I would love to see you and Eli Everfly mix it up in singles action.
Oh, I would love that.
That would be fucking
sweet. A lot of fun with that. I think very highly of Eli Everfly.
I think he's amazing. Insane. I think the things that he does for his size is just awesome. And here's one of my favorite women that we've ever seen pass through Limitless Wrestling in Harlow O'Hara.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, not wasting any time here. Look at this. Oh, dude, her suplexes are so great. Just tosses people. Here we go.
Yeah, everybody's screwed
Go
here.
for the ride. See ya.
So what are you telling your boy at this point?
And so at this point, I you can see me saying, I was like, don't do it. And he was just so caught up in the moment.
Try to get that clothesline, bro.
He was just so caught up in the moment. And actually, I can share this with you. So as he ducked, he got hit, and he pulled me into his face, and he's saying to me, am I bleeding? Am I bleeding? And I'm like, yeah. His nose got cracked in the first move of the match.
Was he busted this quick?
Yep, his nose got cracked because my shirt had blood all over it. I'll never forget that.
No shit.
Yep. He got cracked right away. And here we go. I sent him into the ring like a good manager, and there he got cracked again.
Traffic like a good manager, sending him into potential danger.
Well, Randy, you stacked the odds against me. You gave my guy a 1 in 6 chance of winning here.
Bro, every other time was a 1 in 2.
So you stacked the odds against me. But anyway, here you go. Here you go, Nico. Lay it in. Come on. See, look, Eli can't even keep up. Yep. Good night.
Oof.
But this is what I mean. And DK, that's exactly what you're talking about. He's so athletic for his size.
Yeah, crazy height on that moonsault, especially for a dude that big. Like that's insane. I don't think people realize like how hard that is. Like I can't do that. I mean, I could do that, but not make like the height on that is just nuts.
Did we see him one other time in Limitless, Randy?
He has appeared, I believe, on a fair show.
Yes,
one time.
It was a
he
fair
actually
show.
Wrestled DangerKid at the Litchfield Fair. They went 1-on-1 in the main event, but no, I don't believe he's been back since. We have seen him in Let's Wrestle though.
He's a talented guy.
I was thinking about the other day. He's a dude I'd like to have on the Let's Wrestle roster when things get back to normal.
So you just saw, if you could see in the corner, Stokely and I were actually talking with one another just before this. We were kind of strategizing just a little bit.
Yeah,
because we understood we had each other's best interests in mind.
What were you talking about? You're not going to leave us on the hook like that?
Well, I felt like if we could eliminate everyone else from the match, at least let it come down to our guys. Again, evening the odds that you stacked against us in this match. So,
yeah, of course. Got some seduction happening here.
DK is, if you could be managed by anyone in pro wrestling, who would it be?
Ooh, putting me on the spot there. Honestly, Randy Carver.
What?
Maybe I should say Tex Arcana. I
was going to say Tex was
way.
Tex was probably your answer there.
You know, not Randy Carver. Well, like I can't have a better hype man.
Well, you can.
Oh, come on now. I bet I can throw powder in someone's face better than you, John.
I've never had a chance to throw powder in someone's face because I don't cheat.
What a fucking double stomp. Can we talk about that?
Look, I sent Nico in there into the ring, and he took care of things, see?
You are sweating right now. You're sweating more than anybody in this match.
Well, also, to be fair, there's no air conditioning or any fans at the Westbrook Armory, so it's very hot.
These dudes are slinging blows in here, and you're on the outside. I guess you're suited up. You're suited up.
I am suited up. I always got to look good. Look at this, Nico. Kip up.
Then he got kicked in the dome.
He can do all these kip-ups, but I think you're directing him at the wrong times, John. Very talented athlete.
That's Jay Freddy doing his thing.
Look at him go. He's madman.
Jay was on another level this night.
Hey, guys, sorry about that. We had a quick technical glitch there. We are going to the 8-minute mark on the dot. I will say, Randy, we've had a pretty good track record with these watch-alongs without having one, but we just had our first one. So 8 minutes on the dot here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So Jay Freddy going to the outside. You see, I got the hell out of the way. I did not want to eat any of that from Jay Freddy.
Yeah, and you did not pull your boy out of the way.
Yeah.
It happened so quickly.
Dude, you're like not a good manager.
No, see, look. I just said to Stokely, I said, hey, let's get them out of the way. And then Kevin Blackwood does that.
But, like, you're not helping, though.
Guys,
like,
I am small. I am not big. I cannot yank one of these guys out of the way. See, I just took my jacket off. I'm very hot. I'm very sweaty.
Yeah, it's getting steamy. You just didn't want to be in the air of this.
What the?
Yeah, that was insane.
My God. Eli Everfly's a madman.
He is. Look at this. Stokely. And then that's what you get, Stokely. Exactly. That's what you get.
Man, almost got a little bit right.
Look, I don't want any of Harlow. None of that. None of that.
I think this might be the most managers we've ever had.
Easily.
We got Puff, we got Alba, we got Stoke.
I forgot about Puff Beerer on the outside.
Oh, don't worry. Well, you won't soon forget, but Harlow O'Hara is about to do something awesome. And here it comes. Austin Theory going into the outer dimension. That was nuts. Crowd went crazy.
And then she got kicked in the face. A lot of head kick.
Oh, beautiful lariat.
That's what he was looking for earlier.
Should have pinned him, though.
Well,
Didn't
Eli
even try.
Everfly stepped right up into the ring, so. And good night.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty slick.
In
honestly.
his tracks.
Dude, this match has not stopped. This is awesome, this match.
Oh, they don't? That's why Scramble is so great.
I don't know. I just listen. Oh, he's dead. He's dead.
Yeah, that
he's
was
dead.
fucking nuts.
He's dead. Apparently not, though. Ugh.
This is the first moment where shit has settled down. I can see referee Derek Douglas in the second row.
Crowd's going crazy, Randy.
But yeah, this is the first time anything.
Oh no!
slowed down.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
Not soon enough.
See, I am beside myself right here. I am.
When was your last PBR?
Long before Stokely and I are yelling at each other, saying, "How is this happening? What is going on?" And some people are about to go for the ride. Oh my goodness!
Chokeslam City, baby.
Where's Jay Freddy get this strength? I know he's a thick boy, but come on.
It's the beer. The power comes from the beer.
This match is insane. like from the talent to the action, this match is crazy.
No doubt.
I was so angry
Here we
here.
go.
I was so angry. Look at me.
Angry that Jay was getting the beer and not you?
No, I don't want any part of PBR. I drink the classy stuff. I eat
What do
classy.
you supply Nico Silva for drinks?
I eat classy things like Boar's Head, okay? What was I supplying Nico Silva? Water, high electrolyte drinks, everything that you'd imagine. I work with
I don't know
Mac
what you're
Daniels.
supplying.
I work with Mac
Oh,
Daniels, okay?
Big
1,
fucking
2.
deal.
I almost broke up that pin right there. I was
could
ready.
see you making your way in there very stealthily.
My career's on the line here, man.
That would have been very uncool of you, dude. Just saying.
Well, did it happen? No, it didn't.
No, but you were thinking about it.
Kevin Blackwood just murdered Jay
That
Freddy.
was sick.
That lung blower happened,
That
though.
was sick.
Package DDT. Oh,
Drilled him.
here you go, Nico.
It killed him.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just about splitting her in half.
I'm
Yeah,
feeling
no,
good
he's
about
not
this.
pinning her, though.
I'm feeling. No, he's got to
Okay,
go.
he's gonna
He's
try
got to
to
go
flip
for
it.
his finishing maneuver. DangerKid.
Is this his finishing maneuver?
His
What
shooting
is it?
star press. I'm very excited on the
Wait.
outside, and he missed it.
Oh,
And-
God damn.
And I
And
just
they cut away.
Yeah. I'll
because
tell you why we cut away. Because that was scary as fuck.
Yeah, it didn't look.
If I remember correctly, that was very scary. And yeah.
oh, wait a minute, Kevin Blackwood sliding in. No, this can't be it. No. Oh. Oh no.
And it wasn't even your boy.
Randy,
What's up, bro?
what are you doing to me?
It's over.
Hey, this was your choice.
No,
bro.
it wasn't.
You could have chose anyone to be in that position. You chose Nico Silva, and unfortunately, wrong place, wrong time, but a right place, right time for Kevin Blackwood.
Right here, I'm like trying to cope with the reality that this just happened. It didn't seem real
is
to
it
me.
finally hitting you? Did you went into this with 100% confidence then?
Yeah.
You literally bet your whole career on one dude. That's just
Like,
you made the wrong choice.
it looks like I'm laughing here, but it's because I'm like so mentally and physically exhausted. And yeah, this was probably not my best judgment.
I would say no.
Yeah. Not great.
A fitting departure.
Was
You
it?
blew the spot.
Was
You
it?
just blew the spot.
Look at Greenleaf smiling in the corner. Get the hell out of here.
Greenleaf was directed to come lead you out of the building.
And he's holding Miami. You let his paws.
Episode of the podcast.
You let his disgusting paws on Miami.
Hey, it was there for the taking.
Do you remember what I shouted to the crowd at the end there, Randy?
Something about going to hell.
I said, I am the Emmy Award-winning Jon Alba, and I'll see you all in hell.
Oh, shit. That's funny.
And that is your watch-along of the Scramble from the 2018 Vacation Land Cup. Watching it back, what do you guys think?
I thought it was nuts, just as nuts as I remember, just as fast-paced as I can remember. I really enjoyed it, and it makes me, watching shit like this just makes me miss shows. I got to be honest, makes me miss the atmosphere, especially the Westbrook Armory, dude. A lot of fun moments in that building, and this was one of them for all of us.
DK?
I just wanted to second the Armory bit. I feel like when was the last show we had there?
Hooked on a Friedman, I believe, which was May of 2019. So it's been a year and a half.
A lifetime ago, it feels like. It's crazy, honestly. I miss shows, really, but I miss the Armory, too, for sure. There was a special vibe in that building that was just completely unique.
Who stood out in that match to you guys? For me, it's whenever I watch that match, it's Harlow O'Hara.
Yeah, I think it was a big match for Harlow. It's tough to just choose one because really everybody had their moments there. I think Jay Freddy looked great. I think Eli Everfly also looked on another level. It just showed what Eli can do in big situations like that. Kevin Blackwood, I think it was a much-needed win for him, moving him forward in Limitless Wrestling. I think it was important to everybody all around.
DangerKid?
I would like to agree with that. Big match for everybody. I think everybody looked great. I think everybody brought their best stuff. I think everybody was legitimately trying to send you packing and in one case defend your legacy. But for me, it's got to be Jay Freddy. Honestly, I think Jay Freddy was just turned the fuck up on this one, and he looked great. And while he was kind of goofing a little bit, he was still throwing some stuff and dropping some people on their heads. So got to give it to Jay Freddy.
So, Randy, it's a question I get asked all the time. When will you lift this ban on me and allow me to partake in Limitless Wrestling shows? Because you've allowed me in Let's Wrestle, where me and Mac Daniels have reigned supreme uncontested.
What? Uncontested is debatable, but yeah, I mean, you guys have been around Let's Wrestle. I don't know, maybe it's this whole quarantine pandemic
feeling
softening me up
feeling
a little
chummy
bit. I don't know, what do you want to do? I think the Star Search did not work in your favor, and I don't know if Mac Daniels is right there yet.
I'll get to thinking about this. DK, MSP have any openings?
No.
Let's see. Well,
oh, I don't know. What would you? Do you own any flannel?
I do own flannel, actually.
Oh, yeah?
I do. You know what? How about this? If I win Emmy number 2 this year, can I earn myself a ticket back in? Colin West loves me in Synergy Wrestling. He'll have me anytime.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
When's the voting for this Emmy? What's the deal?
We'll find out if I'm nominated in about a month.
Okay. Let's keep that on the table.
Play it by ear.
Keep that on the table.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Been a lot of fun here on the Limitless Wrestling Podcast. Appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Again, we ask you to subscribe and share, and we ask you above all else this week to partake in the voting for the Limitless Wrestling Top Moments Countdown. We will be opening that up on Friday, and it should be a lot of fun. Anything else you guys would like to add?
Other than that, just look for the voting link on all social media platforms. Obviously, follow Limitless Wrestling on Twitter at LWMain, Limitless Wrestling on Instagram. You can go to youtube.com/Limitless Wrestling, see a ton of free matches from the road and all other events. And IWTV, sign up. Use the promo code Limitless Wrestling if you do. Gives us a little kickback at the end of the month. And it's going to get you 5 free days to check out Limitless Wrestling and a ton of other promotions. And let's have DangerKid put over his social media real quick.
Check me out on Instagram and Twitter at I am the DangerKid. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Pro Wrestling Tees, MSP on Pro Wrestling Tees.
No
Main
doubt.
State Posse, not Main Street. Main State.
No.
State Posse.
No, not
Yes.
at all.
Help me acquire a coin,
Yes,
please.
do help him. Anyway, guys, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.